Hey guys, Veebat here with another V-Plays looking at the Yak-9U. Now, I want to throw a disclaimer out there for anybody working down this line that you don't get the sniper rifle on this plane right from the get-go. In fact, you don't even get it with the next two upgrades on the gun from stock. It isn't until the fourth upgrade you get a long-range derp cannon like you were used to with the Yak-7 and Yak-9. So with a low altitude, relatively poor turn performer, prepare to be a little bit disappointed for the challenges that are going to be faced as a result of that. And I apologize now for any of you that were expecting to get right into a derp cannon right away. It is a little bit disheartening to find that you're going to have to essentially start out with a poor turn fighter right from the get-go. But you do have something to look forward to, as you can see right there. The other thing that you kind of get an advantage of here was instead of getting a piddly single 50 cal machine gun to augment the damage of the main cannon, you're actually going to get two 50 cals initially with the eventual upgrade to... Oh, come on now. Alright, let's just go for the guns here. You get a 220mm cannon upgrade for the synchronized cannon, so you can eventually get to a pretty decent sustained firepower. So if you were to upgrade the cannons, or let's say you did the Yak-3 line initially, you can upgrade pretty quickly to a 320mm cannon setup, albeit a little bit shorter range than you would expect with the derp cannon. You can at least get some decent sustained damage right from the get-go. And once you do finally get your derp gun, you can kill aircraft at range or at least damage them, and then finish them off with a 20mm cannon to a little bit more consistency than you would have seen in the past. There we go. Doesn't always connect, but when she does, she does. Let's just use the cannons here to highlight their capability. Good sustained damage, lighting people on fire. That's what we like about this plane. Currently ahead on points, staying with the furball, acting as a support sniper, looking for easy targets. We see the Typhoon coming in. He is not vectored on me. At least he wasn't. Let's just go for the 20s here. Here we go. And there, I'm pretty sure it was the sustained damage of the 20s that took him out, or possibly a fire. Most likely the sustained, since we didn't get Fire in the Sky award there. Yeah, it was a click. So we do have an enemy player, I think, in the 209. Let's verify that. Yep. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so we see him. We've identified the target. We'll have to keep an eye on him. But it looks like he's preoccupied with the bombers right now, which is good for us. Cadman is going to be a challenge, and I don't want to put myself in a bad spot here as the BVP's rolling in. So let's go ahead and get into a situation where we can counter this guy. Or it might not even need to. Here we go, 20's finishing off targets like I said before. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Here's the 209. He is rolling away. A little bit high and a little bit low on airspeed, so we're adjusting here. You coming down on me? I believe he is. He's got rockets. We do not want to get in front of him. These bot PvPs really do love using those rockets and head-ons, so. There we go. Did not get the kill, but we got the lion's share of the damage on him. Perfect, got him just as squall line hit. Oh, we did have another player on our team, and they had a Typhoon. I did not notice that. Let's go ahead and hit the in-game results screen. And like I said before, the Yak-9U is essentially going to be what we've seen with the Yak-7 and the Yak-9, the major difference being that you got a bit of a grind, and we'll talk about where some of the overlaps are on the other Russian lines. So those of you that are grinding multiple Russian lines, you may find that you still have some decent options available to you right from the get-go. So coincidentally, since I had actually gone down the Yak-3 line, the Yak-3, in fact the Yak-1M unlocks the top engine for this aircraft. So if you've already done that, you already have it. The 23mm cannons carry over from the Lag-3 if you've done the LA line. And the 20mm synchronized cannons, you can get those with the LA-5, the Yak-3, or even the I-220. So if you've made it to Tier 7 in any of those lines, you're going to find yourself with these guns. And if you're fortunate enough to have gone down the I-250 line already, you'll have the 37mm gun. But you'll note that all of these cannons are relatively short range by comparison to what you get with the 45, which puts you back in that 3,400 foot range, which we're used to from the Yak-9. But with a little bit of a boost on the damage when it comes to the sniper rifle here. So you definitely have some options to try and get ahead on this airframe. I already had all of the guns with the exception of the 45, and I converted some free experience for it because I still had some left over from the holidays. Well worth it. It made it a very easy transition for me, but my father and my friend Megastus were following along, and they had a little bit of a tough time without the Top Gun, and it wasn't until they got it that they were happy again with this airframe. So this is a permanent fixture in my hangar. I ended up buying premium camo, essentially permanent camo. So if you're not familiar with how the camo system works, there are two different options. There's one option which is universal, which gives you a concealment and a tolerance to AA gun bonus, and it works for every season. But depending on the map, if you were to have specific paint schemes, you'll find that you get more of a bonus. You get a 20% concealment, 10% AA resistance, and a bonus 5% resistance to tail gunners. I prefer not to do that unless it's like a premium aircraft or something that's like a tier 10 that I want to play a little bit more competitively. And then I threw on some nose art because it looks cool and it gives some crew training experience bonuses. And then, of course, I have a bunch of these free emblems. You may discover a lot of you actually have these from playing a series of events, and they're given to you for the holidays. There's the holiday ones up at the top. You get one for getting elite status in an aircraft, and they will give you crew experience bonuses as well. So it's worthwhile to throw decals and camo on here, even if you're only renting it, in order to give you a bit of a bonus. And you can either rent it for 7 days, or you can rent it for 30 days, or you can buy it permanently with gold, which is what I've done here. But This is pretty much the Yak-9U, guys. It's more of the same. There's not much of a difference. But again, it does lead to two different lines. The Su-9, which is going to take 110 experience points, and the Yak-15, which takes 113 and some change. So you can go both routes. And since I knew I was going to be playing this aircraft for a while, I figured I might as well invest in making it the best aircraft I could. And hopefully we'll be able to make it to Specialist in no time and get us to an even more capable airframe, since we'll be able to throw on an engine and a weapon mod and get this accuracy up as high as possible, so that way we can create a bigger hitbox on the target and really get that damage to hit home. We'll see how that plays out in the long run, but until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Always getting closer, I'm marching till it's over.